I always buy the cheapest laundry detergent. I'm not buying Tide. Tide's $17? Come on. It's ridiculous. That's... what's that called? I don't even know how to pronounce that. I'm reading it. S-U-A-V. Suavital? What the fuck is Suavital? That wasn't even... that was something else. That isn't even soap. Oh, here. This is what I want. Great value, ultimate fresh laundry detergent. It's new, it says it's new for $6 for this much. That's what I want. They're playing stupid Christmas music in Walmart already. Oh yeah, I love this time of year. It's fucking great. Ever since I've had my Facebook page and my YouTube channel, I've always posted things or uploaded things that I know people are gonna make comments on, and I know that I'm gonna be blocking them. I don't want those people on my page. I had somebody on Facebook the other day saying, like, that they were confused. Like, is this dog training or a Bigfoot page, or, you know, what is this? This guy's all over the place. I'm a fucking human. I have more than one thought. I have more than one thing that I do. Why is this such a... Why is that so hard for somebody to understand? Is that what you do? You just do one thing? I don't care if you like my channel or my page. Get lost. It's absurd. Somebody giving me advice, saying you should just dedicate the page to Bigfoot. You're an idiot. Okay? Why don't you start your own page and dedicate it to Bigfoot? Or they say stick to dog training or something. Like, what the fuck is the matter with you? You don't like my shit? Don't watch it. It's really that simple. I'll post something. I know that somebody's going to say something, and I'm just ready. Yesterday, I think on Facebook, 45 people. 45 people. And then earlier today, another 5. I'm not going to have it. You post anything racist, anything homophobic, anything xenophobic, anything like that, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see Trump 2020. You're an idiot. I don't care if you vote for Trump. I don't care if you support Trump. That's not the issue. You shouldn't be going around, you know, who cares? Who cares? And clearly, if I say something like, I'm a Republican that can't stand Trump, why are you going to put that under there? You know I'm going to block you. Why don't you just go? There's people that, like, they'll post stuff like that, and if I let them sit around, they stay around and still post the same shit. I don't want to see, nobody needs Trump to be president again. I pull up and I'm getting out of the car next to me, a guy's getting out, and I make eye contact with him, and I said, how you doing? And he says, get the fuck out of here. I didn't say anything. I know this is hard for a lot of people to believe that I would be friendly to someone. You have no idea what I'm like in person. You're seeing somebody on YouTube. So anyway, to make a long story short, you know, I was just like, whatever. You know, I'm not gonna, oh, come on, let's fight. So as I'm coming back to the car with my stuff, him and his girlfriend are coming back to the car with his stuff. And he sees somebody, goes, hey, how you doing? And he's like going like this, and he's like walking right by me. I mean, like within inches. We're in a Walmart parking lot. He didn't have to come that close. This is true. And I thought, man, is this guy gonna, hi, how you doing? He's gonna come up and cold cock me or something. Like, I'm gonna have to fucking fight this guy. And so he keeps walking past me, and he goes, hey, how you doing? He's talking to this guy for just a few seconds. He said, blah, blah, blah. Then comes back, and he's talking to his old lady. He goes, yeah, that was the old CO at the Tompkins County Jail. I hadn't seen him since the last time I was in there. I shit you not. Then his girlfriend wife starts going off saying, you talk more than a fucking girl or something. Something like that. And he said, well, you know that's right. And I wanted to do laundry. I've been sick. I've been, the last 2 days, maybe I was up probably a total, in 2 days, probably a total of like 8 hours. So I just need to get out and do something. I'm doing laundry, you know. I gotta do something. I was thinking about going hunting with Tonka. I've been sick. That's not a good idea. So I'm doing laundry. I was watching one of those videos of the fires in California, and once again this time I saw a woman that was actually driving, posting the video live, and she was holding the video like it was in this vicinity, but it wasn't attached to anything like mine is attached to something. She was holding the video driving through hell, and then at the end there was like a whiteout, you know, like clearly she was in a real bad area and the video cut off, and then they were saying that this is so and so, and we have not heard from her since this video was posted. It's fucking insane out there. It is. It's fucking insane. And it's even more insane that somebody's like trying to drive out of this and shooting video of it. Just seems like they're both hands on the wheel, you know? You shouldn't be thinking about shooting video, that's for sure. I mean, it's interesting to see, but I'm sure everybody would have rather her not post the video, not make the video, and have gotten out alive. And she might not have. Trump, Jesus Christ. Putting the blame on people in a situation like this. How many people are affected? How many people have died? Right now, the count is a little bit under 30, but like over 200 people are missing. Not good, not good. And it's not good to have a president that is just absolutely so self-absorbed that he has to start putting blame on people. And the blame that he put on land management, like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? What is he talking about? And 60% of the land that's on fire is federal land. So if you're in charge of the federal government, dude. Why are you fucking doing that right now anyway? It's always like that. The elections, like there's no one other than the governor of Florida and the president are claiming voter fraud. Even the person that was appointed by the governor is saying, we have no proof of any voter fraud, everything's fine. Yet he keeps spouting off his fucking shit out of his mouth. See, this is why I will never vote Republican again. You know? There's plenty of people in the Republican Party that could stand up to him. Mitch McConnell could say, no, there's no voter fraud going on. It's Florida. They're terrible at this. They are. They're terrible at it. My God, it's 5 o'clock and it's already dark. It sucks. I was thinking about, how I do ban and block a lot of people on Facebook and YouTube, and it just seems like this is the truth. This is how it looks as far as like my Facebook page goes, or it might be because of something that there's more assholes on Facebook. That's the way it seems. It seems like they're older, they're more they're more Bigfoot people, it seems, on Facebook, like older Bigfoot people, and they seem to be really redneck and stupid. That's the way it looks. Most of them, I'm not saying all of them, of course, but YouTube seems to be like a younger crowd, much younger crowd, a sort of nicer crowd for the most part. I think that as far as like banning and blocking goes, more on Facebook for sure. And then if you go look at, you can see clearly, who it is, who you're blocking before you're blocking them, and I'll check it out. It's always kind of older people, always a lot of rebel flags I see, a lot of Confederate flags, sort of that kind of crowd. That's mostly Facebook. I'm not saying that I don't block a lot of people on YouTube, I do, but not at the 45 people yesterday on Facebook. I'm just saying, I'm not going to hear this. I'm not. Yeah, so like 50 people on Facebook in the last day and a half I blocked. Nobody needs that. I mean, I had somebody saying underneath one of my videos, this is the truth. This is the kind of shit you have to deal with. I live in, they said they lived in Buffalo, right? They said, I live blah, blah, blah in Buffalo. Now I know where you live. Guess what's next? Oh, I don't know. You try and come to my house and get arrested like somebody else did? Anthony Bourdain, when he would do his show, I was always sort of surprised at how much he would drink. And I think tomorrow is the last show. I don't know if they're going to do, you know, repeats, if they're going to play it again, or they're just going to, like, that's it. I have a feeling they're just going to, like, that's it and move on. Maybe they'll, you know, throw it out on syndication or something. But Parts Unknown, it was an entertaining show. If you like food, most people do, and traveling. And every time I watched that show, you know, I knew people that knew him. And, you know, he had an addiction problem, and he never denied it on the show, and I think he even talked about it. But the thing that I always found weird, and I said this 2 years ago, man, I was saying this on Twitter and Facebook, and some people responded sort of angrily at me. And what I said was, as a person that has a you know, I fucking drank for years. I was a terrible drunk. But I mean, you should know that if you have a substance abuse problem, that, you know, you can't just like switch one for the other. You can't be like, well, I'm not gonna drink anymore, so I'm gonna smoke weed. I had a friend that tried that, and he's just got out of the hospital recently. He had a fall. He's doing much better. He's painting the way that he painted before the fall. He had a traumatic brain injury. He's doing real good. But I remember saying something to the effect of, like, Anthony Bourdain, he's a, you know, I think he's an ex-junkie. Why did they have him on the show drinking so much alcohol? And it seemed like alcohol played such a part of the show. It was such an important part of the show. He would even, like, make these comments about it. Like, you know, nobody around him, like, ever, you know, said, you know, maybe we have a problem here, you know? And then recently I said something, and somebody said, oh, it wasn't the booze, it was that he was on Chantix, and Chantix can cause this, like, ideation, you know, like, people start thinking about, like, suicide. And that's true. Some of those medications, that's true. Usually I believe that that happens with younger people. I believe that younger people on SSRIs, and I believe that Chantix is an SSRI, or it might actually be more like Wellbutrin. But anyway, to make a long story short, I'm sorry, I don't buy it, man. The guy was an ex-junkie, you know, and every show he's just getting wasted, and it's like nobody ever, you know, I know that there's contributing factors. I know that there was this thing about his wife or girlfriend sleeping with the 17-year-old. I understand that. That would be a contributing factor to suicide for sure. And that's her deal. You know, she has to live with it. Whatever. Maybe that had nothing to do with it. But, I mean, come on. Like, you know, I know a lot of people that are ex-junkies. And if I saw any of them drinking beer or fucking hard liquor, taking shots like that, I would be concerned about them, and I would voice my concern. I wouldn't want to nag them, because that's never going to get anybody to stop doing anything. I'm trying to be serious as I have a pigeon on my head. But it's the truth, man. The guy has been drinking heavily on the show for fucking years. You know, 2 years ago, as a person that watched the show, that's you know, an alcoholic in recovery, I was concerned. And then I remember one of my chef friends, like, sort of said something kind of snide to me, like, you know, pretty much like, well, don't worry about him or something, you know, something to that effect. And like, and I think that they might actually know the guy. I think that the people that actually, like, said stuff to me actually knew him. I never met the man. I never met the man, but I mean, I always like, you know, like it was like one of those dudes that people that would sort of be in my circle, like they knew him. They would tell stories about him. I knew somebody that worked with him years ago when nobody knew who he was. And, you know, the show's on right now, and it's like they're doing this sort of thing where it's like a mock sort of like 007 thing. So instead of writing something in the like the script, the artwork that they're doing about something that would be 007-ish, it says something about rum. It's like there was such an emphasis on him getting fucked up, you know? Nobody in that show ever said anything to him, the producers. Certainly I was friends with some of those people. And if you're friends with somebody and you know that they're getting wasted and you know that they have a history of abuse, you know, if you can fucking help them out by talking to them or whatever, for God's sakes, do it. It's a fucking killer. Alcohol kills people, okay? It's a depressive fucking chemical. You fucking take that, of course you're gonna have depression. That was the main reason I quit. I was like fucking depressed out of my fucking mind constantly. So now I'm just depressed. I'm not depressed out of my fucking mind. You wake up, you're drunk. It makes life fucking horrible. That guy seemed like he was in fairly good shape. He's in his early 60s. He looked pretty good. But you get bummed out. You're like, fuck it. I don't know. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And then these people like kill themselves. They commit suicide. It doesn't have to be like that. Suicide, this is a fact. Suicide, anybody that commits suicide, there's always some kind of underlying mental illness. And mental illness, you could say alcoholism is it's a disease. They didn't say a fucking thing. They just, I'm sorry. It's just so annoying. And then I'm seeing this one that I've seen before. You know, it's all this fucking booze is good. It's fucking bullshit. It's seriously, take it from somebody that did almost all the drugs, okay? Quaaludes. I did it all when I was a kid, okay? Acid, mushrooms. I grew up in that time period. I didn't do heroin. Okay, I never put a needle in my fucking arm or anything like that. I would never do anything like that. But I did a lot of fucking drugs. And I'm telling you, they all suck. They all cause depression. They all ruin your life. It's better being sober. If you know somebody that's doing this shit and they have a history of it, for God's sake, say something to them. Or you might lose them and then you're going to feel guilt. And I'm sure that there's so many people attached to that show that just feel fucking guilt. They knew what was going on and they didn't say anything, either because he's the star and you're not supposed to say anything. Well, there were people there that were, you know, like the producers and shit that should have said something. It's just fucking, I'm sorry, it just sucks. You know, when are we going to hear another story like this? Robin Williams, there's always somebody that has some fame, that has a, you know, you might think that their life is pretty good because they have money. You know, but that doesn't really solve anything. Money doesn't solve shit. What am I saying? You know, money would solve a lot of my problems. I'll tell you that it would. But it would solve the problem of not having to worry about fucking money. You know. But it's just a fact. Like, you know, you could have all the money in the world and not be happy. I could think of this friend of mine. She's very much like me. And I can tell at times, like, it's just like I'm being morbid and talking to her. This is like my best friend. I'm like, you know, I have to stop talking because I know it's bumming her out and me out. But the bottom line is that if I knew that she had an issue or something, I would certainly try and voice something to her. She doesn't, but I mean that's the point. Money, she's okay financially, but she's still This world's tough, man. It's tough. Everybody's got it bad. It doesn't matter if you have $1 million. It doesn't fucking matter. Life is tough. Life is tough. And I'm just saying, drinking booze or fucking shooting smack or something isn't going to make it better. It makes it fucking worse. And just because somebody has money or they have fame doesn't mean that everything's great for them. And Robin Williams, fucking, Anthony Bourdain, there's a whole list of people like this that just can't fucking take it, For God's sakes, if you know somebody that's fucking, and they're emotional. Let's use that term, emotional, and they're self-medicating or something. Fucking help them out. You could listen to Anthony Bourdain talk on a show and tell that he's like this emotional, intellectual, artistic dude. The guy's probably always fucking thinking. Do you think that it's really good for somebody that's always thinking to be drinking? No, because you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to shut their brain down. And you know what the big problem is? When you do that, when you're shutting your brain down with that booze or whatever it is, it changes the synapses and how your fucking brain is firing. And then you wake up the next day and your brain isn't working properly. And then you get depression. And then you're like looking around. And it doesn't matter if you're looking around at, like me, I'm looking around at my house. I'm telling you, this place is a shithole, okay? But if I was drinking, it'd look 100 times worse. So it doesn't matter if Anthony Bourdain is waking up in the East Village in his multi-million-dollar fucking apartment, or he's in Germany in a fucking, some really nice suite, and can call room service and get whatever he wants up there. He never has to go hungry. It doesn't fucking matter. Why? Because he's drinking booze and he's fucking up his brain, and his brain isn't in the right place, and he's got depression. Life is fucking tough. It is. It's tough. You got a problem. You got a problem with drugs. You got a problem with alcohol. I'm just telling you, it's better being sober, okay? That's what I'm saying. It really is. It's easier being sober. If you're thinking about suicide and you're drinking and shit, maybe stop drinking and see how you feel about it later. That's my suggestion. Another thing that I'll instantly block if I see, that's that frog. What's it called? Pepe, the racist frog. Anytime I see that, I don't care what you write. It doesn't matter. That's your profile picture, is Pepe the racist frog. You're gone instantly. I'm not going to put up with it. Here's another thing. You can tell by somebody's name if they're a troll. You can also tell by their picture. Sometimes trolls, they have like the Joker. They use the Joker or stuff like that. Or somebody has a name like Adolf is their profile name on YouTube. You got to be fucking kidding me. Your name is fucking Adolf. I don't even have to read what you wrote. You're blocked. That's it. Your sister just sent me another picture of your hot dog that you're making. By the way, that's sort of gay that you picked a hot dog. That's the gayest food. It is. It's a wiener, dude. That thing looks fucking fantastic, man. Wow. Wow, Big Al, in such a short period, man. You're back. You got to work on some speech shit, but you're back, man. Your work looks great. I told your sister to tell you this. I'm telling it to your face. I'm looking for a show you keep making that shit, man. You can sell that shit and make a ton of money up here in New York. I know a place you can show. I just have to talk to them, show them your work. I know they'll go for it. People love paintings because they can sell them. My shit, they can't sell. Your shit can sell. It looks great. Keep fucking going, man. The hot dog looks great, but it is it's a wiener, dude. You're fucking painting a wiener. I have a friend that I talked about this in July that fell down some steps and had a traumatic brain injury. We didn't know that he could live, Looked like he was going to die. It's the truth. He was in a coma for less than 30 days. They brought him out finally. he couldn't do shit at first. And I fell off a cliff when I was 5. Not as severe as his, but I had a brain injury. I'm fine, pretty much, I guess. But I know several people that have brain injuries as adults, and the guy is fucking doing great. Here's a painting that he just did. Keep in mind, about a month and he couldn't fucking draw shit. He could not fucking even write his name. It's a slow progress, supposedly, with traumatic brain injuries. You know, I was a kid, man. I was like 5 years old. The only thing that I have is sort of like something that, I don't want to talk about it, but it's sort of like, if I did talk about it, it'd sort of be seen as positive. But, like, I have a friend that went to the Kansas City Art Institute with me. He was up here in New York, and he had an accident, and he had to have, like, a metal plate put back in his head. This is the truth, man. It's been over 10 years, and he talks about it's like a recovery the whole time. But I remember the first time that I saw him, I'm like, hey, what's up, Steve? And another friend of ours, Jake, he goes, man, he don't recognize you. He doesn't know who you are. He doesn't know who any of us are. It's no shit. So that's sort of how it was with Al. Big Al did not know anybody. He didn't know anyone. Now his memory's coming back, and now he paints like this again. The motherfucker, you know, they had to, like, I don't want to go into it, but it was really a traumatic deal, like what he had to go through. You have no idea. And the motherfucker still fucking can draw better than me and paint better than me. It's fucking amazing. He's back. He's got some more stuff to work on and everything, of course. It takes a while. I get, man, when it happened to me, I was only in the hospital for a short period, but you know, his was severe. My friend Steve's was severe. I had another friend that was drunk in art school. She fell from 10 feet onto concrete. Hers was severe. All these people have bounced back, and it's obvious that my friend Big Al is still an artistic genius. There's a new documentary out with Monica Lewinsky in it. And I've had this conversation about Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton with Ginian many times, more than once. We have sort of opposing views. Hers is more sort of traditional. That's not right. And my view is clearly that of a 55-year-old aging male, where I'm saying, well, she was 22 years old. She's an adult. There was an attraction. I think it's okay. Now, Ginian's view is, it makes sense. It's like, well, he's so powerful, like, you know, it's just not right. Like, if you have somebody of power that is, but I don't get that from the whole scenario. All I get was it was two people that there was an attraction. And with that said, my friend Kimberly was an intern during that time, and she said that they joked about Monica Lewinsky, calling her the stalker because she was always looking for Bill. But I look at it like, you know, so what? It's no big deal. He didn't push her down. He wasn't abusive. He didn't say you're going to lose your internship. Nothing like that. I just don't see a problem. If somebody's my age and they have a secretary that's in their 20s or something and there's an attraction, I really don't see the problem. Unless the male is saying, listen, you do this or else you're going to lose your job, or even inferring something like that. If there's a mutual attraction, that's at work, that's where many people meet and get married. So that's my view of the whole thing. Like, I don't really see a problem. She's 22 years old. Yes, he's the president. He's the most powerful man in the world. But what's he going to do? He's got some 22-year-old that clearly likes him. And I'll admit to it. I was putting up a show in New York City. I told Ginian this story. And this girl's fresh out of college. She's 22 years old. She came on to me. I gave her a ride home. I screwed around with her. At the time, I was still living with somebody. I'm not proud of this. I'm just saying it happened. I was living with somebody, and then the person I was living with, she was giving me no attention. It was just terrible. somebody was, attracted to me, and, it was just anything to sort of feel better. And that's what I did. I didn't force, well, it wasn't a job interview or anything like that. It wasn't anything like that. And just because somebody's 22, I can't say that that's a problem. But then again, I've asked specific questions to friends of mine, Ginian and Milk Paint, the same thing. I get the same answer. Ginian's younger than Milk Paint. Milk Paint's probably 57, something like that. And I said, if you weren't married to Mike, this is to Milk Paint, and some young guy came up to you, would, like in their 20s, and he was hot, and would you sleep with him? And she's like, oh God, no. And that's exact same words that Ginian said. I said, exact same thing. She's like, no. 22, the kid could be, my kid. That's how she looks at it. Like, it would just be too young and too weird, and I wouldn't do it. I'm a 55-year-old male. I see it differently. I do. I admit it. It's not like I'm not saying I would do it. I'm just saying that I might, if it seemed like I got along with the person. You can't help who you're attracted to. You can't. And I can state this and be very clear that, like, in my years, I was attracted to a lot of people, and it never worked out. It never does, but you can't help being attracted to them, and then you sleep with them. I'm not saying that humans are bonobos, but we're very much like bonobos in that way. Now I'm older, I might make a more rational decision, like that might not be a good idea. Like, why is the 22-year-old attracted to the 55-year-old dog trainer? I don't know. See, I'm a guy. I'm like, I don't know. She is, though. What am I going to look the gift horse in the mouth? That's not proper me saying that. But do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, the male ego. I'm like, oh, my God, she's hot. She's attracted to me. Yeah, let's do it. Bill Clinton, we never heard anything that he was like anything more than a gentleman. It's the truth. He bought her knee pads with the presidential seal. He bought her a gift. She had knee pads that had the presidential seal on them. He bought her a cigar. Well, no, he didn't buy her the cigar. That's not what he did. He ended up smoking the cigar. I'm thinking, like, there was that story about the Secretary of State. He was in a meeting with the Secretary of State, and she was underneath the table. Yeah, maybe Ginian's right. Yeah, because you wouldn't, if you were in a relationship, a normal relationship with someone, and even, let's just say you're not even the president, you have an office and a desk, and you're going to have a meeting with somebody. If you respected that person, you wouldn't have them underneath the table blowing you. And this is a fact. This is, like the knee pads. It's a fact. He bought her knee pads with the presidential seal on them. He used a cigar on her, and then he smoked the cigar. But I think it might have been like one of those cigars in a tube, like a Macanudo. And then maybe he smoked the cigar. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really that weird. Well, yeah, it's pretty weird. It's not that weird though. It isn't. When I think about weird, I'm sort of, what comes to mind is Trump. Like, I just came outside and I scared the woodpecker away. He was eating the suet. I've been sick lately. The last two weeks, something like that. I was having like chills and sweats, and I'm thinking that I had the flu, but I had the flu, what it's like if you have a flu shot. That's what I think. It was like this weird thing. Like, now it's gone. I feel fine. That's what they say. If you get the flu shot and you get the flu, it's like lessened a whole lot. I think that's what I had. I was still able to function. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. I get the flu shot every year now. I'm looking at my walls. These things were filthy, and I used bleach on them, and they look so much better. This is vinyl siding. Well, I'm gonna be, you know, how much is a gallon of bleach? It's like a couple bucks at Walmart, maybe. I'll be doing this from now on. I was thinking about painting this stuff. My dad, before he passed, said, "Don't paint it. Just try washing it first." That's what I did. And it's so much different. Oh, is that a pine siskin? Love these little. Yeah, it is. I love these pine siskins. Yeah, it is. There he is. They're fearless. They're fearless. Here, let me get him on camera. Look at this guy. See the hedge loppers? See right by the head of it, where the blades are? That's a pine siskin. And these have ended up being some of my favorite birds. They look sort of like a very small brown sparrow. More fearless than a brown sparrow for sure. Like, you know, if I walk slow, he'll let me get within a foot of him. You know, the other day when I could have reached out and grabbed the guy. I don't want to bother him, he's eating. But there's several of them showing up right now. They're very cute. They're very cute. Oh, here comes another one. So I'm gonna go inside and let him eat. When the pigeons take a bath, it excites Brew. He starts barking, so I gotta go in and tell him to shut up. You know, always respond if your dog is barking. It's totally inappropriate.